we've been talking about area and perimeter, but I'm gonna add one more thing today. We're gonna do composite shapes. Now, our formulas are gonna continue to be the same. So just to refresh your memory, because it's been the weekend and I know that you won't remember. Everybody should have a reference chart, okay? And so remember that when we were doing perimeter, we add all sides. So I want you to write that in, add all sides. And then when we are looking for area, we're going to multiply, okay? Now, yes, I can use perimeter. I can use multiplication to find my perimeter, but I kind of want you guys to stay with just adding and adding all the sides for perimeter, okay? So we're gonna focus on this formula, and then we're gonna focus on this one. But also, if you're looking for the perimeter of a square, you can also add side plus side plus side plus the side. So this is just a little refresher before we move on. Put this to the side. We're going to keep coming back to it, so don't lose it. Okay, so when Miss Easterwood is reading, what are my students doing? And they'll say annotate. So they know that they need to have their highlighter and their pencil. Okay, so Lily had 27 feet. So she had 27 feet by 8 feet garden that she filled with flowers. Then she added a square section to plant vegetables. Okay. Now, what we're going to highlight is going to be our question. How many square feet of space will Lily have to plant the vegetables? Okay, so now I want you to turn and talk to your partner. So partner A, you're going to tell partner B, what is this problem about? What do you think we're looking for? And what are the formulas that we might be using for this one? So you have 1 minute. You may start talking. All right, let's come together in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, Mr. Garza, would you share what your partner A told you?
My partner shared that the problem is about somebody making a garden, and that since they were asking about square feet, she thinks it's about area.
Okay, so we can make that connection. I like how Mr. Garza said that we're going to look for area because we see that it says square feet. In fact, this is what I told you to do last week. Anytime that you see that it says how many square feet, you know that we need to think about area. Now, the problem that we have here is that this is a composite shape. And I just learned that you learned how to do this in 3rd grade, but this is not STAR tested, by the way. So, not like this anyway. So, what we are going to do is we are going to take we're going to take the composite shape and we're going to split it into 2 pieces or into 2 shapes. So, here's what the problem says. She had a garden that was 27 feet by 8. We already have 27 feet here and we have 8 right here. So I want to kind of keep those 2 because they're already part of my problem. So what I want you to do is, with me, we're going to go ahead and split this off. I know that it says that she added a square. So here's the square that we added. And then, what do we know about squares? So my kids would say, all sides are equal. So that we do it like that. So then I know that if I have 8 feet here, this would be 8 feet. This would also be 8 feet. And this would also be 8 feet. Okay, so now I just want to know how many square feet of space will Lily have to plant the vegetables. So, partner B, please explain to partner A, should we use our rectangle? Should we find the area of the rectangle, or do we not need to find the area of the rectangle, and why? So do we need the rectangle area, or do we not need it? So I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. Partner B, you're talking to partner A.
So we can do, we can find the rectangle area and then find the area. That's the first thing that it is. It's just talking about vegetables.
All right, so let's come back in 3, 2, and 1. Ms. Vasquez, do we need the rectangle or not?
We don't need the rectangle.
Why do we not need the rectangle? What were you telling your partner?
Okay, because it's for flowers and the question is asking for vegetables.
Yes, so the question is asking us to plant for vegetables. This is where our flowers will go. Because that's what the problem already told us. This is where we're going to put our vegetables. So I'm gonna put vegetables here. Okay, so now we already know that the formula for area equals length times width. So, or if I have a square, area will equal side times the size. So then we're gonna find the area. So my side is gonna be 8 times 8, and I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to tell me what the area of our square is going to be. So 20 seconds. Go. I need to see boards in 3, 2, and 1. Show me your boards. Okay. All right. I like how this table went in and put in square feet. Okay. So remember that when we're looking for area, it also said it in the question, and you already know it from last week that we're looking for square feet. So when I multiply 8 times 8 equals 64 squared feet. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and box in our answer because that's my final answer. Okay. Here's our next question. And while Ms. Easterwood is reading, you should be doing what? Annotating. All right. An elementary school is building a new playground next to a soccer field. Okay? So the principal wants to know how many square yards of turf is needed to cover the playground area. Now I know that you don't know what this word turf means, but it's just yard, like the yard outside or the grass. Okay? So we're just trying to figure out how many square yards of grass is needed to cover the playground area. So before we start working on the problem, let's just try to make a connection to the playground that we have. So let's pretend this is Davila. We do have a soccer field outside, so you guys know you go outside to play. And Miss Seda wants to know how much grass do we need to buy to cover the playground, because well, we have to put grass there, otherwise, you're gonna scrape your knees. Okay, so when I look at this problem, I know that I'm missing a couple of numbers. Okay, so we are going to find what numbers we're missing. So here we have 142 at the top, but I only have 130 at the bottom. So I want you to turn and talk. So let's do a table talk for this one. So, well, I guess it's just you two, but in your tables, what are we missing? Look at the way that it's already labeled. We got the playground and the soccer field. What are we missing, and how can we find it? What can we find? How can we find what we're missing? I'll give you 1 minute.
grass when you start.
My kids don't know what turf is, so I.
Well, I said, you know what astroturf is? It's fake turf. Fake grass.
Yeah, they don't know. They truly, I mean, today we got stuck on a word that's not even a vocabulary word.
About 3 minutes, guys. A little over 3 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the timer because I noticed most of us stopped talking. Okay, this table, what are we looking for and how did you know?
We're looking for the missing part, we're looking for the square yards of the playground, right? But notice that we're missing one side.
Okay,
the side.
so we noticed that we missed this side right here. Okay, now, Mr. Johnson, since I heard you have a good conversation with your partner, how did you find the side that we were missing?
I just looked at it and said, well, this one side, the top side that was parallel to the bottom, because they're parallel, so you have 142 connected parallel to 130, and that spot was missing, so I took the 142 and subtracted my 130 to find my missing space of 12. So the playground has got 12 on the side, and the length is 73.
Okay, so what I understand from what Mr. Johnson is sharing is that if I look at the shape that I have, we have a rectangle, and rectangles have congruent sides. So if this side is gonna be 142, then that means my bottom side also has to be 142. But I only have 130. So what are we missing to get to 142 from 130? So I need an answer in 3, 2, and 1. What are we missing? 12. Okay, so this would be 12 yards. Now, do we have, it looks like we have all the parts that we need, but I can also go ahead and put in 73 on this side, just to complete all the sides. Now it says, the principal wants to know how many square yards is needed to cover the playground area. So now we're only going to focus on the playground area. So now, again, we're gonna go back, because remember the objective for today is just to focus on using our formulas. So I'm gonna go back to my reference chart and just double check. I know that I have 2 different measurements. So I know that it's not a square. So I know that when I look at my reference chart, I need to look at the area of a rectangle. So our formula is gonna be area equals length times width. So here we go. So our area equals, it's gonna be 73 times 12. Okay? Now, we've been practicing our standard algorithm for multiplication. So this is why I asked you to have those 2 colors, because my kids use 2 colors, color pencils, because if not, we cannot solve. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and set up our standard algorithm, and you're gonna have your 2 color pencils ready to go.
Got 30 seconds.
Okay, so we're gonna start here. So I'll just use this one. So we'll start here. What's 2 times 3?
6,
6, and then we have 2 times 7, 14. Okay, what do we get rid of now? So my kids would say get rid of 2 and put your 0. Okay, so then with the next color, now we're gonna multiply 1 times 3, which is 3, and then we have 1 times 7, which is 7, and then we add. That was the area.
Okay. We can go ahead and stop the lesson now.
Good. Very good.
All right. So thank you, Cecil. Again, so you guys go ahead and grab, make sure you get one of the, everybody should have one of these little forms. And then I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. Let Miss Easter give her some feedback, any love it's based on her instructional practices, any wonders, you know. So just go ahead and, we'll go ahead and start the timer. You got 2 minutes. Another minute? About 20 seconds. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the timer. You should be ready. So if we can go ahead and start, let's give Ms. Easter with some feedback on her lesson. Ms. Cortez, would you like to start?
Oh, I just like the color coding. She referred to her objective, pacing is good. I can see that they do have routines that support their learning. But I was wondering like, well, what if you have kids who struggle with the multiplying?
I tell them to, well, I was hoping that maybe Mr. Johnson would be like, I don't understand. But,
Yeah, I was gonna do that, but I didn't.
They do different strategies. I've been working on standard algorithm because I know that's what fifth grade would prefer. But they can use whatever I have, they can use the box, they can use the tail, whatever strategy works for them. It's just, we've been practicing, standard algorithm. So they use whatever other.
So did you mean for the actual problem, the 2-digit by 2-digit, or the ones that don't know their math facts?
They'll know their
Oh,
math facts.
they have their T-tables,
So they have
the
it.
students have their own
Let me
T-tables.
see, that's what I was gonna say, but I didn't wanna intrude, because that's the only thing where I wondered about that, because you see, like, when you use something like that, I would revert to 10. And I would break the 12 up to a 10 and a 2, because I know most of my kids can do the 2, and if you use the 10, you just take that number and you add a 0.
But I thought if they're
Yeah.
doing
And
their
it's-
multiplication
And then
chart, then
sometimes
they
that
just.
helps them get through it,
Well, they,
because you have to take kids where they're at now. We have transfer kids all the time.
well, I don't
Transfer.
make them do the T-tables because that would take more time. So
Yeah.
once a week, we do the T-tables, and then the ones that get them, they do them, and then the ones that don't get T-tables, because they're not tier 3, they can do it on the graphing paper, because that's
Yeah, that's
acceptable
what
for
we're doing
STAR,
now.
so then they
So-
have that.
That's what I started
And
doing,
that's-
that's what I started doing because of her. I'm doing my homework, and every Monday they can have that, so they have a timetable. As long as they do it, they have it themselves and they can look at it. Because that's what we do constantly.
Okay, someone from this side, any, something you loved and something you might have wondered? Go ahead.
I love how, you're using your vocabulary words, the flow of the lesson. Your scaffolds are ready to be used and, you use them constantly, like the reference chart. And I love how you're not using slides.
She does, she kind of times, but yeah, she does use them as well. Okay, so me, I'll go ahead and share, and then we'll ask Ms. Sarmiento. No, sí quiere, sí quiere. So I love how you provided multiple opportunities, multiple at-bats for us. You use the whiteboards, think per share, and then the table talk. I also love how you provided the vocabulary with the word turf, any misconceptions, things of that nature, and the annotating. One of my questions, my wonder was, were you asking too many questions during the think pair share? Because it was like 3 questions in one.
That's how it's built into the slides. So it tells them what is the problem about, what do they need to know, and how do they know.
Okay.
So it's
Well,
always
maybe you
the
could
same.
chunk it, because it was like 3 questions within that think pair share. And I was like, well, which one do I answer? And how am I gonna remember all the questions?
Well, because I guess
during
because it's the same, so the kids already know, like if,
So
whenever
it's the same
they're-
ones?
It's
Okay.
always the same questions.
Yeah, and I figured that, so it was like, or maybe provide like a sentence starter or something for them so that it can help them, scaffold it for them, because I was like, oh, that's questions for me to remember to answer with my partner at once, just something I was wondering. And Ms. Lee,
You know,
right? Okay.
no, yeah, I think all of that, the modeling of annotations, the turn and talk, you know, the student engagement, and then using the student answers to reinforce your key ideas. My wondering, but that was really the first problem, because like if, which we did on the second problem, where if it's not a square, how would you let the students know, like if it's a different, you know, how to figure out the missing,
I
that
guess I
missing side.
Should,
That's
it's
just,
just, so this week, okay, I don't wanna say it too loud, but so the questions that are coming from the district for area and perimeter are like not star aligned at all. The ones that they have is just having, it tells them, it gives them all the sides and then it tells them to find area or it tells them to find perimeter. On star, it won't say find the area, find the perimeter. So I've had to like reword the questions, and this is what I've been kind of hammering to them all week, that if all the sides are not equal, then it's not a square. And then if you have two sides that are equal and then the other two sides are equal, then that would be a rectangle. But we've been, that's what we've been kind of focusing all week. But I know next week we're looking at missing sides, but this, like the irregular shapes, I know it's on CERN and it's on IXL, but there's never been a question like this on STAR. So I added my notes. So I took, I leave the ones that the district has because that's how they're gonna be on the DOL. So, but then I add my own. I'm either adding STAR or questions from the, like, STAR line questions, and then I clone them. And so then based on how they did that day, then I clone the next for the next day. So, but right now, like maybe the second question might be in STAR, but the, like when it's breaking them up like this, we don't do that at all. Like it's never been. So I'm not really sure why they're.
do they still ask it like how much fencing, how much border?
Yeah,
So
it'll say
to
like
let them
how
know that
much
that's a
around.
perimeter.
Yes, so
Okay.
it'll say like around, or it'll say, so on STAR, all the questions that I looked up, it says either how much do they need to go around, or how many square feet, or square something, so they already know, if they see that word square, it's area, if they see around, that means perimeter, or if they see space, if they know if it's taking up space,
Space.
then it's area.
How much space? How
And
much
then,
soil?
well, it's
How
usually
much
like,
carpet?
the wordings are like, but they know like if it needs to cover, and so we did, like one of my writing prompts yesterday was, and it looks like a lot of my cards, I have to give them a second one, because they wrote a lot, but on the prompt was, if you, like, it, how was it worded? It was more of like, how would you use area in real life? So think about, the prompt was, think about something that you like to do when you grow up. And think about how much space you're going to need, or something that you might want to build yourself. I mean, these kids had like, oh, somebody was like, I want to build a secret playroom, and I want to find the perimeter so I can put pretty borders around the wall, and then I'm gonna put pink carpet or something. So they really went into the details. So that's
But the
how I make
questions
sure
she
you
asked,
understand.
like the questions that you looked up for STAR, are they kind of like what she's saying?
Yeah, it's, the wording is the same. How many do they need to go around? How many square feet do you need, or square, whatever the unit is, or how much space is gonna cover? They're pretty much the same.
Like that.
That's why all of these
That's why
are
you put them that way, okay.
Yeah,
not,
yeah, you're right.
but they're fielding DOL, so they need, I guess they
So
need to
they're
know
gonna-
them,
You have
but
to teach for the DOL, so they're not just, you have
Yeah.
to teach for the DOL.
Please, make sure
But I
that
mean,
Miss,
that
thank you, Miss
just-
Eastwood,
I
make sure
know.
that, she give her the feedback. Thank you so much.
Mm.